Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. Besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fanfiction it inspires. I'm Kasey.
I'm Sandra, and we are shining the spotlight on two members of the supernatural fandom that have developed challenges that inspire creativity within the community. Kym, known as Dean WinchesterSwitch on Tumblr and WinchesterWytch on AO3, is the moderator for Jacklesverse Bingo, which is in its second round. Stacey, known as Princess Misery 666 on Tumblr and Princess Misery 86 on AO3, is the creator of Alphabet Quest, a new spin on prompt fills. Their writing challenges are not a new concept. Both of these ladies have made theirs distinctive, fresh, and flexible. The expectations are whatever the individual participant makes of it, and they shouldn't be held responsible for that self-inflicted torture. So, it's all about bingos and quests on today's episode with two of the biggest cheerleaders in the fandom. A big thanks for joining us, and welcome back to the podcast, Kym and Stacey.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for
Yes.
having us. That was a heck of an intro.
Oh, well, I wanted to give you both your due because you do a ton of stuff. And I will say right off the bat, I am so excited because this is the first time you two have ever talked to each other.
I know.
Paula's Idling in the Impala matchmaking service for real.
We've both had the great honor of getting to meet you guys individually. And I think from one to another, speaking to Kym, learning about Stacey, talking to Stacey, and then getting you guys back on to talk about all these wonderful things that you're doing for the community, I think it was like a no-brainer. So once we heard about, especially Stacey, your Alphabet Quest, when that started to pop up, you said you were doing this thing. So I think I kind of...
Isn't that so cool?
It is so cool. And I want to I want to hear more about it because, full disclosure, Kasey and I are in the middle of, we're wrapping up, it's like close to end of October, we're wrapping up our Wincest Big Bang that we both have done along with Dreamer. So we have had literally no time for anything else. And so it's nice to see opportunities to just, again, not be so deadline oriented. I think we've all had like experiences now with what it is to actually be on a deadline outside of what you put on yourself. So it's nice to see these different types of challenges that just kind of like are there if you want to pick it up. And I feel like that's going to be a great thing to kind of talk about and discuss on this episode. I think what I wanted to do though was bring it all the way back in terms of your backstory, your origin story, your Kym and Stacey. Do you guys have a pairing name that you've come up with?
I was just about to ask that.
You know, we actually don't.
Maybe we should.
You should. I see Kasey right there. I mean, I'm sorry. Or I see Sim. I see Kasey.
Yeah. You can't have my name. I'm real sorry. Do you know how long it took me to pick that? You can't have that one.
I know.
So our little Discord together is called the Stamp of Approval.
Okay.
So our little Discord, our own little corner. So we call that the Stamp of Approval.
Aw, that's
true.
awesome.
We do have that. Yes, we have that.
That is cute. I love that. But yeah, how did you guys find each other? How did that happen?
I had to scroll back very, very far to figure this out. So it was the 30th of September 2019 that I first reached out to Kym, and I found her on the Pond beta list. So it was just, I was just like, oh, are you still offering the service? Would you be interested in doing a little one shot? And then I just like sucked her in and never let her leave.
Okay. Awesome. I've seen that around. They still have that on the ponds, don't they? Does that still?
They do.
Yeah.
They also have an alpha reader list as well.
Wow. So you guys have just had your anniversary, your friendversary.
We did.
We did.
Yay.
What did you do to celebrate?
I think we both missed it, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday,
because we were talking when you put that question into the doc. I was like, a couple of weeks before, I think I had mentioned to her, I'm like, it's been like 5 years that we've known each other, and so then you put that in there, and so then Stacey went back and looked, and it was like, oh wow, yeah, we just completely missed that.
Yeah.
Aw. What was it? I mean, I know you said, Stacey, like, once you got her, you couldn't let her go. But like, what did you guys find immediately was like something that just kind of like clicked? Like, What was it about the initial, maybe like just interaction or whatever, that kind of like, so, you know what, this is a keeper. I'm going to keep this one.
Well, I was going to say, because I had actually been reading some of her fics prior to that, and I just really admired her style.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, so when she asked me, I was, kind of like fangirling a little bit. And so then I think for me, like I said, it was just kind of like, okay, yeah. I'll help you. And it's like, okay, I've got this one little thing. Would you mind checking it?
Mm-hmm.
Just to get that different perspective. And it just kind of went from there.
Wow.
Yeah. Same for me. It was kind of like, oh, I'm not somebody that's easily offended. I'd rather somebody tell me straight up rather than trying to beat around the bush. And Kym was kind of like, she'd give me feedback and not be like, oh, she'd give me a reason for that feedback. It wouldn't just be like, oh, this needs to change because of X, Y, Z. She'd give me, oh, this is why I think this should be different. So it was kind of, it's always been a collaborative thing. It's not just like, oh, this is wrong. It's like, oh, this could be better because of X, Y, Z. It's not just like, oh, change this, it's useless kind of thing. So I think it was kind of all that. There was always that room for a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It was never just like, oh, I'm just going to beta this. I'm just going to check the grammar. I'm just going to do this. There was always that conversation behind the scenes of it as well.
Yeah. And I was in transition in my writing style. I was still kind of trying to find my, my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Stacey kind of helped shape that, and I really like where, it's gone from there. So
yeah, it is interesting when I could say, and I think, Kasey and I think our journey's kind of been similar too, in that I think a lot of what I've written, I think I've been open to more things because of Kasey. You know what I mean? Like maybe what's outside of what my usual safety zone was. Like I'm kind of more willing to explore because of Kasey's ideas and inputs in that regard. I know Kasey's got a similar situation with Dreamer, where they go through a lot of thoughts, ideas. Are you guys sort of like, I know you said you have your own Discord. Do you do a lot of like originating of story ideas together, or how much is like, I've got an idea cheerleading, but then you kind of like workshop a lot of it together?
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah, literally all of it. So you'll be like, oh, I had this dream, and it will be like, oh, you could do this, or oh, that sounds like a fic, or you could do this, and then this could happen, and then one of us will get stuck, and it'll be like, oh, it's like you've said this, but you haven't worked out this side of it, or there's a plot point that you haven't answered and stuff like that. So it's kind of like literally every idea I have, I'm like, oh, Kym, is this a good idea or is it not? Sort of thing. And I say, I won't post anything until Kym's ready at least once and going, yeah, stamp of approval, you can post it now, because I don't feel like it's finished until she's done that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I get that completely. That's very similar to how me and Dreamer are. I don't like to post things. I mean, I don't really, until she's had a look through it and gone, yeah, no, it all checks and it's fine, and you've wrapped all the loose ends. And yeah, isn't it great though? Isn't it great?
Oh, God,
it's like a big safety net where you can go, yay, it's not shit. Yes. Certified.
Yeah.
I wrote a Jack Reacher.
Okay.
Well, Drabble. It was a Drabble. And oh my God, Stacey, I forgot his name. Joel Kinnaman.
Yes, Joel Kinnaman, yeah. For Jack Reacher, Alan Rickman.
Yes. No. And Joel Kinnaman's character from Suicide Squad.
Rick Flag.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Jesus. But yeah, those I wrote because of her.
Oh, I love that.
And I love them. But I would never have written them if she hadn't been kind of an instigator, but also a cheerleader in that. So
do you guys remember? And I'm sorry, Sandra, I can't rope you in on this because you're still in the fic hoarder stage. When you get more horny on main, we can talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
Do you guys remember when you could have an idea and go, that was a nice idea, and just let it go? And instead you don't anymore. Now you go, I've had an idea, and you tell the other person that you've had an idea, and suddenly you're like 5 pages deep into a Google search going, this was just a fucking stupid idea. Why am I now plotting out a 5 series thing about this? I don't know.
Yes. All the time.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, that's a special bond to be able to have that with someone. And I think
100%.
I think that's great to be able to like bounce ideas and like just go, go for it and just have that person. It's like, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, well, I know one other person's going to want to read it because I'm writing it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. It cuts through a lot of that anxiety about how nobody's going to want to read this because you know you have at least one person going, fucking, I want to read it, give immediately.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I just want to go on record. I just want to go on record and saying I would 100% do this for Sandra, but she doesn't bring ideas. She brings mostly completed fics to me and goes, "What do you think?" There's no chance to idea craft. She's like, "I've done a thing." Yeah,
I'm like, that's a fucking amazing thing, and I love it.
I don't, and I think that, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other writers that are like that too. And again, that's what I love about this fandom too, is that there's like, you can have people that you would trust your quote unquote life with, you know what I mean? Like you would, because you're bearing all of it. Your creativity, I think, is such a very vulnerable thing. And I think to find a person that you can do that with, I think is just, it's just wonderful. I think it's a wonderful gift that we get to have.
Absolutely.
With the fandom.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
I was looking at the date when you guys said you like first got together and like, reached out and did the thing. So we're talking, this is when Supernatural's final season was getting ready to air, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what, like, Kasey and I met through a mutual friend, Dandelion Dreaming, but not until during COVID time. So what, and I think
it was before. I think it was before COVID times.
No, I will. Okay, this is where I think our friendversary is going to go.
Oh no,
we're going to be that couple that doesn't get the time right, I think. But I think we were.
I will go to my emails and I will pull up a date.
You can.
I think it was 2020. I think.
Yeah, because I didn't get into AO3 until like posting and stuff until 2020. So I know I was starting to get into the fandom, I think is when I started, like around this time is September 2019. I was like getting ready to watch the final season. I was trying to rope my husband into it because I was like, hey, I got tickets to a convention. I hope you want to go next year because we're going to go. And then that didn't happen. But I think my question is, what was it like then in the fandom as compared to, say, now? Because we're talking like the height, right? Like people were not the height, but like it was getting ready to end situation. Does it feel very different now as compared to then, at least for Supernatural? Because I know Stacey and Kym, you guys are doing like other stuff too, but like for the Supernatural aspect of it,
kind of. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit disjointed and not following the fandom as deep as a lot of other people do. So I think obviously we always discussed, oh, this happened and I wish it hadn't happened. And we've had those kind of discussions, and then it's like, oh, I'll see something on Tumblr and go, oh, actually, this is a good take. And then we kind of discuss it. But I kind of feel like almost like I keep to my own little corner and I only see what I want to see, if that makes sense. Like absolutely. I'll just kind of take my own kind of, I'm very stubborn, so I'll make up my mind and it takes a lot to change it. So I kind of feel like Kym is quite good at that. So she will she's a fact checker on everything. So she'll be like, yeah, here's the evidence to kind of back it up. So, but yeah, I do kind of feel like, I do think we must have discussed episodes and different things, but I had to watch it it wasn't aired over here at the same time in America, so I had to watch it on a dodgy stick. Because I was just like, I didn't want to see spoilers. So I was like, I'm going to watch it so I don't miss things. So I kind of think we did discuss it, but I do feel like we have more conversations about life in general than we do the show, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree. I think initially, because that first year was more, I think it was more beta reading and kind of getting to know each other and that sort of thing. And I would agree, we didn't, because of the difference in viewing times and stuff, we didn't actually talk a lot about episodes and things like that. So
we talked a little bit about this, but I think maybe a little bit more, because I don't know, I think Kasey and Dreamer might want to consider their own little Discord server at this point. We should talk about how you guys collab and support each other. Yeah, can you talk about like the whole like the Discord a little bit too? Because that's like, that seems so detailed and very like, if you've got channels for certain things, like that's great. I love that. I love to hear about that. Like how your collab.
It's so
like,
prepared. Yeah.
That was actually Stacey's idea, and it was brilliant. It's been a lifesaver, actually, I think. And yes, we have lots and lots of channels.
We do. It's very organized.
It is very organized, actually. Yeah.
Do you have like special channels, like say for even like for like a fic one of you might be working on? Do you do that too sometimes?
So every active, so we've got active whips. So each fic gets its own little channel. So obviously, if you have an idea, we can bounce ideas about that one. Then we've got one for all the completed fics. So if we ever want to go back and read stuff, and then we've got ones that are beta ready, which is 9 times out of 10 just my stuff because Kym's are never ready.
Yeah, I know.
she's too busy making them perfect. And then we've just got like fic ideas, like random crossovers. But like you said, we've got the US versus the UK, so it's just like I've got this question. We do actually have a channel called SBM Finale. I don't remember doing that, Kym.
I know. I was just looking too. I'm like, when did we do that?
When did we do that? So yeah, we talk about a bit of everything. I say I've got my little Google channel. So I call her Google because she's always going to give me the answer quicker than the AI on Google's going to give me nowadays.
That's great.
I love that.
Oh, it's perfect. Honestly, she saved my life so many times. I'm just like, it's going to be quicker to ask Kym. I'm just going to ask Kym.
And it'll be more accurate, hands down, the way everything is lately with AI.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
That's very, very,
absolutely
very, very, very funny. I love that. I love Google.
I just think because we spoke so much, like we'd put ideas of fics in like our normal chat, and then we talk so much, the idea gets lost.
Yeah.
So it's just like, let's start our own kind of Discord, and then we can kind of keep it, like you say, a bit more, I'm going to move it to this channel now because we're talking about this fic. So then you can go back and find the ideas better and stuff. So it's easier to find stuff again.
That's great. Kasey,
really,
you and
really
Dreamer
might have to do that. Do you have any, me and Dreamer started communicating through emails because we met on AO3.
Yeah.
So obviously the comment section is not really designed for long form chats like that. So we started email. And by the time we moved from email to Facebook, we would have had about 10 different email threads going on that we had started because one of us had an idea. And then it just off it fucking went. Trying to find anything was impossible. So I imagine it would be the same in Discord. We just don't move stuff where we should.
But it seems like a great way to archive stuff. Like if you do, because I mean, in our server, Dreamer's really good at like making sure stuff. I bet you it would work for you guys to do that because then you'd have an easier way to find. Because right now you guys just use Messenger a lot of the time, and that is a pain. If you're like, I know I said something, let me scroll for 5 to 10 minutes and hope that I can see something that might have been related to that. You don't want to do that. You want to have an actual like archive, some type of archive, even if it's just like Google Docs or different. And I know you guys do that, Kasey, like, when you're working on stuff together, but still it seems like conversation wise, that would make so much more sense.
And it's so even if you just do it in like the general channel, and it's just like, we've talked, you can just copy and paste the same thing into that fic channel, so you're not kind of going to lose it, and obviously you can pin it and stuff. So it does make things a hell of a lot easier.
The search function on Discord's better as well because Facebook went through that. They encrypted stuff, and then you couldn't search for stuff, and now you can search for stuff, but you can only search so far back. All right, y'all sold me. Speak to her about it tomorrow. I'm going to call it Horny on Main.
There you go.
Oh, goodness. I heard about the Kym, like, taking, like, waiting a really long time until it's perfect. So I'm assuming that has not changed much since the last time we chatted. Okay. So there's
unfortunately
a beta. No. Okay. So there's a beta channel, but a lot of it is mainly Stacey's.
And most of the finished fic channel, those are hers. The whip channel belongs to me.
Oh. All right. Okay. Are there a lot in there, Kym?
There are a lot in there. There are a lot in there. And there's like 5 of them from round 1 of the bingo. So,
Okay. Oh,
so there's 14 of Kym's and 2 of mine in the
Wow. That's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
That's like my list, but one step further, Kym, because ideas just stay on my list. I don't start them; they just sit there, and I'm like, "That's a nice list. I like that list. It's good."
I'll tell you, it's great. It is great. I mean, it's like, and I do mention it to her often. I'm like, Jesus, why are they all mine? But the thing is, though, is because of the way I write. So I have like, I'll get an idea, and I just did it. I just made a new one, didn't I, Stacey, the other day?
Yeah.
But, so I get these ideas, and yeah, I can put them in doc, and that type of thing and stuff. But being here in the Discord, I can get the feedback from her. And I usually have Discord open more than I have docs open anyway. And so it's like, okay, if I get just a random, little scene of dialogue, I can just throw it in the Discord, and then I can, go back later and add it to docs and flesh it out and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a lot more convenient, I think, for me anyway.
Yeah. Are there any other, because I think we talked about this a little bit, are there any other like collaborative like apps or things that you guys have found that kind of helps like wrangle up like all of the ideas together, like for one, or do you just really like Discord for all of that? Like, or is there another thing that maybe individually you guys will use, or is it mainly just Google Docs and stuff like that?
Nothing that we kind of work together on with at the moment, other than Docs and Discord. We did both sign up for Ellipsis. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
No.
It's newish. We signed up when they were still in enclosed beta, and it's very similar to Docs. You can collab and stuff like that, although it doesn't have all of that intrusive. There's no AI. There's no intrusiveness as far as your personal data and all that kind of stuff. It's 6 people from around the world that started this. They have a Discord server for it because they're in open beta at the moment. Transitioning to it has been a little difficult for me because I have so much stuff. But every time I go in there, I like it better because they just keep adding features. Just keep adding.
Yeah.
So, but Stacey, I don't know about you, but yeah, Docs and Discord are pretty much it for me at the moment.
Yeah, I have tried to start importing stuff over to the other one, and they are making that a lot easier now. So they, again, like Kym said, they're so open to feedback. You can literally put something within the Discord, and within a week it's done. It's like, oh, try this feature. If it doesn't work, let us know if you've got any bugs and stuff like that. So they have been really, really good.
Right.
So I think once kind of they've got it up and running a bit more, I think I will just keep to that, because I just, like you say, Google's just become AI and different things now, isn't it? It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not the solution anymore, is it? So I'm just like, we need to find something that we can use on a regular basis. So, which I think that will be. I think by the end of maybe next year, I think it'll probably be the one to be on.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't heard about that at all. I think, Kym, you had mentioned, and I had said something about like OneNote a long time back. Like, I'd used it for a couple of like my original fictions and things like that, because I do like the sort of, and I know other people have talked about, there's other programs where they use it to pin ideas or make like, almost like a Pinterest board, but it's like some services do it all. Like they have all these little bits and pieces in there. I didn't know if Ellipsis was sort of like that, or if I'll be interested in taking a look at it and just seeing. Yeah,
it's really very similar to Docs. Like I said, there's things that they don't have yet. Like, well, Stacey, I don't know if you've been in there recently, but I haven't been in there in a couple of months. And initially, you couldn't put any images in so like if you made headers or those types of things, you couldn't put those in there. That you couldn't do that. And there weren't a lot of formatting options at the beginning. There were just like like a handful of fonts and sizes and that type of thing. But like I said, they are just, I don't mean to be a commercial for them, but I can just see where this is like, it's going to be a really nice alternative to Docs for people.
No, thank you. Thanks for just giving an idea about it, because I have not heard a darn thing about it. So I would love to look into it too, just to see what
I can send you the link for it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm getting real tired of AI. Literally, and you can't. If you could turn it off, it wouldn't be so bad, but you can't anywhere.
I know,
and
right?
That's what I like. Even Zoom. if you record to the cloud, AI gets involved.
Yes,
Why?
it does.
Why? It's just a fucking audio recording. Why does AI need to be involved? And they go, oh, so you can have a transcript. And say, well, I don't fucking need that though. I just want the raw audio. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, that'd be super helpful to like look at some stuff. So I think before we get into like each of your individual challenges and how they came about, my one of my questions was, when I was really kind of like looking at them, I'm like, there's a different feel to each of these, right? Like one is very micro in my mind because we're like Jensen, and then macro with Stacey's Alphabet Quest, where there's all of these fandoms. When I was looking at the list, I was like, holy, I was like, wow. So I didn't know what brought that about. I mean, Kym, I know how much you. I know, but just to hear, like, what were some of the reasonings behind, like, Kym, yours, and then Stacey's, like, your approach to them?
Well, as you know, because we talked in mine, I'm very Jensen centric. I mean, it's just like, that's kind of the little world I've curated for myself on Tumblr. And I am, I just don't go outside of the fandom much. I don't watch a lot of TV. Like I said, most of the things I watch is because somebody recommended them, usually Stacey. Or because I just don't. I don't watch a lot of TV. And as we talked in my original podcast, I am really, really kind of new to fandom itself, you know, so I'm very focused, and this is what I like. But that's also the nice thing I want to say about Stacey and I. We really kind of complement each other on a lot of things, because she's very a little more worldly than I am. You know? She's a lot more open to, you know, different things, and I'm just kind of like, okay, this is my little path, and that's where I'm going.
Gotcha.
That translates to Stacey hyperfixates on anything.
Thinking that. I was like, Sandra's like, I watched this and I did this and I did this, and I'm like, I spent 4 hours on YouTube watching D&D. Leave me alone. This is what I do. This is my niche. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, but Stacey, the Alphabet Quest, like, what made you want to do all of those things within this challenge?
But I just kind of think a bingo is a lot of work. Like, I think there's way more organisation and stuff, that like creating cards for people's specifications and keeping track of it all, and it's way, and doing like a bang like you guys were doing. Like, I don't have the brain capacity to do that, or the organisational skills to do that. So I like lists. So I just thought, I way back when I started on Tumblr again, I did myself my own little challenge of an A to Z song fic challenge. So a song for each letter of the alphabet with a little fic attached to it.
That
and I
was
just thought
awesome,
it'd be interesting to do that again, but kind of like just leave it open for everybody. I just thought, rather than just go into songs, like kind of do it for a bit of everything, just to kind of inspire a bit of engagement. Because I'm very guilty of not engaging with my favourite authors and stuff, and I do reblog everything I read and stuff. But I just thought it's going to force me a little bit to be a bit more active and kind of get myself out there a bit more and be a bit more interacting with people and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, I just think people could just kind of put it out there as to what, like, if they want to take the prompt, they can. If they don't, it's there's no kind of pressure to use it. Like, if it does inspire something, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That is this kind of thing that really appeals to me. I've learned a lot about myself during this bang. I really have. Mostly never again. That's the main takeaway from that. Never again. But that kind of, like, you know, like open prompts and stuff like that, and, you know, sometimes it's going to be a song, because I love making song fics. I love being inspired by songs. You know, I totally vibe with that. And I do actually. I need to apologize, Kym. You see, the thing was, I set up for the Jacklesverse in February, and I was like, yeah, no, this is fine. And then the Winchester's Big Bang came along in March, and I was like, I can do both of these things. I can't do any of these fucking things. What the fuck?
Hey, well, like I said before, I mean, I used to sign up for challenges and bingos all the time, and I would never get them done. So this was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna run a bingo because,
Mhm. Yeah. No,
If it's
that makes
mine,
sense.
I say when it's
Mhm.
finished.
Yes, that's
Well,
right. Yeah.
I mean, I really do like the fact that I think, and I think I noticed this too, like, because my first really indication of, or exposure to fanfic was on Tumblr. And I got a very different reaction to Tumblr because what I was looking for was reader insert or was, OFC. So it's very interesting to see, I think, what the fandom can be for a lot of different people in terms of, then you hear about Destiel and then you hear about Wincest and all these bigger, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just, there's more of it. You know what I mean? It's really harder to find. So when I would find certain authors that did a really great job with reader insert, it was just like, oh, why aren't they, like, they're known more within the reader insert community, but not like
Right.
bigger picture. So and Kasey and I have had this conversation very, very frequently about knowing when, how do you term it, Kasey?
The subtle art of knowing when to leave a space.
Yeah. Like knowing when
Yeah.
it's for you and maybe just when it's not. And there's no way you're going to mold certain things to give your voice more amplification in certain areas. And sometimes you either just have to be okay with leaving it or maybe just not being that vocal in it kind of a situation. So I think I think people don't know how to do that anymore. And it's kind of frustrating where people just don't know when, you know what, not everything is for me. And that's okay. I don't think it's necessary exclusive. Like you said, if you guys are running it, you guys are modding it, you're trying to be open to the fact that this is what I like to read. And if you want me to, fully commit to reading these things, this is what it's going to be about. So for Kym, it's Jensen all day, all the time. Please, please, please. And then
all of the Jensen.
And then Stacey's got, I mean, I'm sure Stacey, your fandom list probably came from things that you enjoy reading or watching or listening to. I mean, I would assume that there were a lot of things that you'd had some interest in to begin with to put them on the list for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. At some point, I've probably been hyper fixated on all of them at some point in my life because I do kind of jump from one thing to another. I feel like I get a little bit bored all the time, so I'm kind of what's a new thing that I can get interested in, and then I get sucked in, and I'm like, new hyperfixation come in.
Yeah, and I think
that's a lot of that's a hell of a lot of fandoms. I'm looking at the Alphabet Quest Tumblr now. I've watched like 1, 2, maybe 3, 4. There's like 4 fandoms on there that I would. And you know what? Out of those 4 fandoms, I could only confidently write for 2 of them. Maybe 3. So, good Lord, y'all go do the Alphabet Quest. Stacey got you covered. Seriously, anything you want to think of, it's fucking in there. And it's wild as well when we look at there's TV shows and sports and it's fucking wild.
I think
movies.
She did good.
Yeah, the MCU.
She did really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe what we're going to do is I was going to originally start with Kym, but it feels like the Alphabet Quest is just naturally flowing into organically this conversation. So you talked a little bit, I think you gave us sort of the origin of what you had done yourself, Stacey, the A to Z thing. So was that did that end up being the sort of okay, I think I can do this thing bigger scale for other people with the Alphabet Quest, sort of with the song thing that you had done originally for yourself?
Yeah, so my initial thought was, I'll just do it myself and I'll do myself another A to Z master list kind of thing. But I'm like, everybody likes a list, everybody likes master lists. It would look very clean if it's kind of alphabetized. So it was just kind of that. And it was just I wanted to do something to be more engaging again and just kind of be a bit more active on Tumblr and stuff. And it's just if I run a challenge and I give myself make it a monthly thing that I've got to do something at least once a month and obviously get entries and stuff, so then I've got to reblog and read and stuff. So yeah, it was just kind of the aesthetic of a nice A to Z list.
I wanted to, because like I said, I've looked at like September and October, how the prompts. So how, like, 'cause you run the gamut. Can you break down like how you're doing it sort of month to month, like maybe how you started with September and all the different options you're giving people to sort of like work on
so many
There's
as
so
well.
many,
I'm just
and it's
looking.
amazing.
So I tried to do it so that each letter would have at least 9 prompts per letter.
Mhm.
So in different categories, so like random dialogue, lyrics, scenario, troop, song. Not all of them will have so random won't have A, B, C. It might only have an A and a C. It would just depend what I could think of at the time.
Mhm.
But I just thought to give people that little bit of more options, basically, and
Mhm.
even if they wanted to combine prompts together. So take a bit of some from the random and some from the dialogue and mix it as one, just to give that little bit extra of inspiration to see if it worked. Kim helped me with the prompts, obviously.
You have a Discord channel for that, right?
Yes, we do.
Of course they do. Come on now. So what it like? I gotta ask. Did you pull from like? Because I know there's 1,000,001 like prompt lists on the internet. Did you pull from them, or did you sit down and just out of your heads, like where did you get them from? Because there's so many. Because I know you didn't use AI. Like that goes without saying. I know you did not use
100%.
ChatGPT.
You.
100%.
No.
No.
So yeah, I've got some. I found a prompt list that was like 500 and some prompts on it that I've used before. So I use the things, a few off that, and I will obviously link to those if I use those.
Mhm.
And it was just, let's go to the alphabet and go, right, okay, what begins with A, what begins with B, and just kind of like what's the first thing that pops into your head. Then I went through my Spotify and I was just like, okay, songs that begin with B, like, and just kind of and took it from there and used lyrics and stuff. And then, like I say, all those fandoms that are listed, I watch on probably a regular basis. So it was just like, that's a good line from that show that could be used in a different fandom.
Okay.
And just kind of use different things from different shows. But yeah, it was just kind of, and then obviously I just went and found like a trope list and just kind of, okay, let's add every single trope that's going.
Yeah.
But I think I've got a spreadsheet, obviously, with all of it written on, and I think I've got at least 13 for each letter. So it was just kind of then I pick and choose which one I want, except for X. I've only got 6 for X, so I'm screwed.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Were the songs and the lyrics one maybe easier? Like which one did you find more challenging to kind of come up with for all these different sections? Because you, like I said, you've got trope, you've got songs, you've got dialogue, you've got random prompts, you've got scenario prompts, you've got lyrics. Which one kind of like was like, these were just like, I'm assuming maybe songs and lyrics, maybe, but I could be wrong. Which ones were like the easiest for you to just kind of like come up with? And then which ones were like, I really got to like.
The one I've got the most of is just random, so just on random words and stuff.
Okay.
And then the one that's got so lyric and scenario, I've only got 19 for every letter.
Okay.
So, and then troops is only 22 because there's not actually that many out there.
There aren't really. Yeah.
There's only so many you can do. Yeah, and then songs I've got 51.
Okay.
So at the moment I've got a total of 323 for every letter for all 26 letters. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's overwhelming my brain just as
But then obviously you have to pick and choose which one I'm going to use for each month, because I'm just thinking if it goes well then I might do it again. Once this one's finished I could just start again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's finished, because I said there's that much out there, put all this work into it, I might as well carry on.
You absolutely. If you pulled out the spreadsheet and you've got the stats and stuff there, you like make it a yearly thing. God damn. That's awesome. Good Lord.
Is yours a little bit more, in terms of like the pick and choose aspect of it? Like they get a lot more opportunity to kind of figure out like what they want to do in terms of like mixing it up and all the way you've sort of sectioned it out. Is that a little bit different from maybe what you've seen in other maybe similar challenges?
Yeah, because it's kind of a pick and choose. It's almost like a pick and mix. What we'd call it, Kasey, we call it a pick and mix.
A pick and mix, yeah. Yep. I know what that is.
But yeah, so it's just kind of people can do what they want with it. Like I've said in the rules, like I don't, just because a prompt was posted in September, you don't have to You don't have to write for something in September. It might not be something doesn't spark until January. Like, it doesn't matter when you use it or how you use it, kind of thing. So there's no kind of hard or fast rules. It's just this is the way it's going to run. Do what with it what you will, sort of thing.
Right. How because I am in the Discord. How many people in total have signed up for the alphabet quest?
I think there's 21.
Okay.
There's
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good for a first one.
So that was just kind of people to tag. Once I've tagged that, obviously, we know your dashboard on Tumblr gets bombarded with stuff. So it was just okay, I can tag you once I post so you know that it's available.
I have got to say, I love that in the Discord that you just found a spot to just list them, because I was like, it was so hard for me, like trying to remembering to find it and stuff, even going to Alphabet Quest. So you being able to put the post, in the Discord for the month was just like, yes, thank you. It's so much easier to go in and look at, because Tumblr, I don't know. I'm still not really good with Tumblr. You know what I mean? And it's another navigational thing. So being able to have that sort of home base where if somebody wants to take a peek inside and see what's going on, it's an easy way to find it, to do it. So I love that you did that. I think for October, here, if you can't find it or if it's hard to find, it's over here. Here's where you'll be able to find because there's so many, it really just, you kind of want to take your time and really go through and process and be able to go back to it and see what's going to spark some interest. So I was like, wow, there are so many. So the pick and mix is definitely an interesting opportunity for somebody to kind of do it. Now, are you okay if somebody picks and mixes from different months, or are you kind of okay, so it's just okay, awesome.
Yeah. Whenever inspiration, I know sometimes you can be thinking about something for months and it's, finally it sparks and it's the perfect storm, as you call it, and then you end up bashing out a whole thing. But sometimes it takes months and months and months before anything makes sense, or you can actually kind of put pen to paper or keyboard to docs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much in terms of how many responses have you started? Because I noticed on the Tumblr, it looks like people are definitely filling in and posting and stuff. There's
a few, yeah.
I've gotten 15 posts so far.
Awesome. That's great.
Awesome. Because I looked at the fic list. I full disclaimer, I didn't sign up for the alphabet quest because I knew that I just couldn't commit to that at the time. So I am sorry, Stacey. I would love to be able to.
No.
But then I went and looked at the fic list and I got really overwhelmed and I was like, oh no, that's too many options. But now Breaking Bad is banging around in my head really fucking hard. And I'm like, my brain is now chewing itself up going, what would we even write for Breaking Bad? And I don't have time for that. So if I now have to sit down and write a Breaking Bad fic, I'm going to really passive aggressively tag you on Tumblr this is fucking Stacey's fault. I didn't even want to write this. Do you know how many years it took me to finish this fucking show? I haven't even watched the movies. I'm going to fucking write this. I don't even like Walter White as a character.
Are there movies? I didn't realize there's movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, the ending for Jesse was so fucking bad that they had to make a movie to fix it because everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it, but yeah. I ended up writing a fucking Jesse Pinkman fic. I can feel it in my bones. I know it's happening. I'm blaming you, Stacey. I'm blaming you. Stop encouraging me. Stop it. Stop it.
Kasey, I was the same with that Reacher fic. I'm like, really? You're going to make me write? And then she challenged me to only 1,000 words.
Yes.
We were just talking about that. That was something we were talking about too, is how, depending, I feel like Kasey and I flip a little bit in terms of when we're writing more and when we're trying to write a little bit less. And I feel like they need to be, you need to try to write something not a lot of words. Just
I don't normally. I don't know what happened here.
This has been twice, Kasey. You can't say was
it earlier this year? It must have been earlier this year that we did the self-inflicted word count challenge.
It was last year.
Was it last year? Because Sandra had one fucking idea and it spanned this multi-installment thing. And I was like, no, fuck you. We're going to do under 3K. That's what we're going to do. And I struggled, but she struggled more. And now we've just finished the bang, and she finished on a cool like 18k, and I was watching my count go over 40, going fuck. So yeah, maybe I need to. I don't want to do it. Oh no,
we're just gonna let it marinate. We're gonna let it marinate. See what happens. See if anything.
Do you know what though?
Out of it.
Do you know what though? I'm gonna have to do it because Kym was the first person that got me to write outside of the supernatural fandom. So I'm now gonna have to. Stacey's gonna have to be the next. I'm gonna like. There's a symmetry there that I have to. Fucking write a Jesse Pinkman fic.
I need a Jesse Pinkman fic from you, and I'll challenge you to keep it at 1K words.
It's been stated. It's out there now too, so we shall find out if it comes to fruition.
It can't be male either, can it? Fuck. Okay,
but I mean, it doesn't even have to be a relationship, right? Like it could just be a general,
anything, yeah.
It could just be a
scene.
You could
see my face right now.
Jesse Pinkman. That'd be so much for Kasey.
Am I adding that to this fucking list?
There we go. I think you might be. I think you might be adding.
I hate all of you.
Kasey, you can do it, man.
You've got it in you. You can do it.
Oh my god! See, that's what the cheering is all about. Cheering writers on, man. That's what we love. Come into the fold. It's nice and warm here. Yeah. That's what we're doing. So Stacey, you're in the second month of the quest. So I wanted to ask, like, what are you finding challenging? What are you finding inspiring? Second month in.
Nothing's been challenging so far. Everyone's been wonderful. So
awesome.
it's been good fun. I do feel like I should be inspired to write something. I have tried. I did have an idea for something the other day, and I got about 400 words in. I was like, actually, no, this is crap, and I gave up. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping something will inspire me, and I can at least get a little drabble out of something at some point, or I don't know, make a mood board or something. But we'll see.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, the other thing about that too is like it's not just for writers. You've opened it up to a lot of different creators, right? For the Alphabet Quest.
Unfortunately, I think everybody that has signed up is mainly a writer. So yeah, I suppose it's my little pocket of Tumblr. It's how far it reached, but yeah. Hopefully somebody will make maybe a gift set. Or,
you might have to do a mood board. That might be your thing. You might have to be the mood board person.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was really intrigued by it. And like I said, I'm hoping once we've got like one more week of bang stuff. And then I'm just hoping that, I get a chance. I would really love to do just shorter, a couple of shorter things that are just inspiring. And I feel like those have just enough of everything that something will spark interest for me.
You could just you only need a scene. It doesn't have to be a whole fleshed out thing. It could just be like a little bit of dialogue, just a little bit of a scene. Like it doesn't need to be a whole long thing. Kym's agreeing, and Kym's done that like twice in her entire life.
Yeah,
I think Sandra and I are on the same page here. No, it's not going to be just a little scene or a little thing of dialogue. No.
Eventually, one day in the far-flung, distant future, Sandra is going to finish Wash, Rinse, Repeat, and then I will be able to explain the original fucking prompt for that, and you can all marvel at how she got where she is from where she started, because it's fucking witchcraft. Is what it is.
I'm so done with that story too, and I'm just like, I gotta work on it every day. I'm like, I told Kasey, I've got to work on this thing every day and just get it done. Like it's finished when I hate it. I'm adopting Kasey's mantra for this story. It's because I'm at the point now where, for myself, I think too, you want to finish it, right? And you're just like, well, it's probably going to be crap. It's not going to be what I intended, but you want it to be done. Like I just want to get it out of my system. And I'm really forcing myself to just not keep following all these little plot bunnies down these other little trails. I'm like, nope, no, we are not doing that. So it's probably not going to be, as great as what I was hoping it to be, but it will be done. And I think that's my,
I'm sure it will still be brilliant.
It is awesome. It will be awesome.
I just want,
and you can always go back.
I just want it to be good. Yeah, I can always go back, but I just want it to be good. But my mantra either on that, like when I get it out there, it's done, and I usually don't go back to my fanfic. It's just like once it's there, it's done. I like to put a little like stamp of approval. It's done. That's it. We're good. I mean, good on you, Stacey. Good luck with it. Is it for until what, like next year? You've got a pretty
May.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be
Sorry.
May. Yeah, it'll finish in May. No, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll finish in May.
Okay. And so you're doing about 3 letters in each month?
Each month will be 3 letters, and then May will just be Y and Z, so just 2 in May. Yeah.
Okay. So where's X going?
Yeah, X is in April, so we've got some time.
Good. I think now, because like I said, it felt like it was flowing to Alphabet Quest. But Kym, you just finished up first round of Jacklesverse, and now are you about 2 months into 1 month or 2 months into the second round?
About a month and a half.
Okay.
Well, the registration started in September. We're actually only in like the second week of the actual bingo because it doesn't start till October 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to know how the first one went too. Like just to start it off. Like, how did it go? We want stats. Like, give us all the stats.
I got them.
I know you got them. I can't wait to check with Stacey on what are your stats when your first round is done. But yes, stats. What are we talking about here? What's been going on?
Well,
I wish we were doing like a PowerPoint right now. We should be doing the whole thing.
Want me to share my screen? No. No, we have. I had 35 participants total sign up for it.
Good.
And I gave out 526 prompts, and not one person had the same prompt.
Wow.
That was my goal. That was my goal for the first round, was that nobody had the same prompt.
Okay, I've got to ask, did you hate the people that wanted a 5x5? Because I was one of those people. Like, no.
Did you hate people? I people.
Like, no.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. The only thing that gets me about the 5x5s is because I have some like really awesome prompts that are like really long.
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to fit them into the square, you have to make the font a lot smaller.
Yeah. You don't have as much room to kind of like let it all fit in there. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's amazing,
the only thing
though.
about the 5x5.
So many prompts. Wow.
That's a lot of prompts. Yeah.
That's a lot.
But we had 179 creations turned in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 of them were aesthetics, and 4 of them had like a little drabble with the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were 10 GIF stories.
Okay.
So there were, like gift sets, mood board type things. And then they also had they told like a little story for the thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it went really well. We had 22 3x3 cards, 7 4x4s, and 9 5x5s.
Okay.
So
those 9 5x5s, man, I'll just tell you, rethink your life choices if you do a 5x5 again. Because I love
3x3, and you can always ask for another one.
Well, that's what people were doing, right?
Yeah, you can.
That was happening. I saw that with a couple people. Like people were like, "I finished my first one. Can you give me another one?" That seemed that was a really smarter way to go.
Kaz finished 4 3x3 cards.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Amazing.
Holy
we had 7. I don't know why I keep saying we. I had 7 total cards that were completely filled.
Mm. Well, you say we because it was a process you all went through together.
It was everybody. It wasn't just me. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could just imagine it was like Christmas, right? Like for you, because
it was.
You're just getting all the stuff you want to read all the time. So you just had to find the time to read it. Was that? I would think that would be challenging. I can just say from doing a podcast where when we have people on, authors or whatever, and we want to read their things, like sometimes it's like making sure you find time, right? Because like in the middle of everything else that's going on, did you, it's going to run into my question of what you found most challenging, but did you really like, oh, this is lovely. Oh my gosh, I need to find time to read all of these great pieces. Actually,
the first round of the bingo, the universe must have been with me for once in my life, because it was, I had time to read things. I was able to keep on top of them, and most of them were reblogged within a day or two of being submitted. And they were, I have one more stat for you.
Oh,
was 598,500 words approximately that were submitted for the bingo.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So I'm very proud of everybody that joined. You guys
Yeah.
did awesome.
My God, that's
Awesome.
amazing. I haven't even tracked. I guess I should probably track how many words I wrote because of the bingo, because I
can send that to you.
yes, please. Because I'm just so, I will say, quests, challenges, everything in general, prompt fills, like I'm normally not, like that's not usually my thing. So to get an opportunity to try to do that and to just write, but then to take some moments and just say, I'm just going to write something short. Can I write something short? There was opportunity to not feel I wasn't, even though you do, it's so weird because like you do pressure yourself, but then it's not a pressured situation, like that kind of thing, but you're given the opportunity to just try something different. So I found that, to be really fun, with trying these new challenges like the bingo and like, hopefully cross fingers, I'm going to be able to do I am going to try to do a couple short ones for the quest, just because I feel like it's a thing I should just be able to do as a writer. You should just try.
Well, that's the great thing about Stacey's though, is because it's so open. I mean, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did you find most inspiring about the bingo too? Like overall?
Oh, everybody's support of each other. It was
great.
It was a wonderful group. It was just such a wonderful group. Discord conversations, the camaraderie there, the support of each other within Discord, and kind of cheering each other on there. And it was round one was just wonderful. So,
well, I know we've been
you sound so happy as well, though.
Yeah,
you really do sound like thrilled by it.
I am
because you're you've helped bring all of this stuff. I mean, again, like your prompts would not have necessarily come across my dashboard. Like I wouldn't have done the thing. Yeah. So I think you've done that for so many different writers. I think that's great that you both are doing that for writers. Like just here's some ideas. Go for it. Do you want to talk about it? And I mean, I'm assuming too that you both are very open to just like discussion. Like if somebody wants to discuss, some ideas within your separate discords for each of your quests, but also like just I'm here, if you have any questions or.
Oh yeah. I had, as part of the Discord for the bingo, I also sent out friend requests so that, if somebody wanted to have a private conversation, they could. And there were several of those. I had people tell me how inspired they were to be able to write again, which was that was like one of the best feelings too. It was just like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
that was what I wanted to do with this, So.
And Stacey, similar vibes for you for Alphabet Quest?
Yeah, everyone's been really supportive, and obviously, I've said all along, if one of the prompts inspires you to write, but it's not for one of the fandoms that I've listed, just let me know, and I can add the fandom to the list. Like one of my friends come back to me, and she was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm now obsessed with Henry Cavill." I was like, "Okay, I'll update the list." So I've literally included like Henry Cavill's catalogue. So. Yeah,
but I mean, have you seen his jawline though? Like, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I am a fan.
I don't think I've seen him in a single movie though. I haven't watched any of the Supermans. Okay. I didn't watch The Witcher. No, I don't think I'm just culturally aware of him as like he's like the big buff guy, but he's also a nerd. So he kind of comes into my sphere and is like, Henry Cavill plays D&D and owns a gaming PC, and I'm like, so Henry Cavill's like a reasonable person. Okay, I didn't know this was news, TMZ, but cool. Yeah.
I think I remember seeing him way, way, way back. Was he on the Tudors? He was like one of the first. Yeah, that was when I was like, ooh, this is a nice piece of man right there. That's an interesting thing going on.
You can say it.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on there. Yeah. He is. He's not just a snack. He's a whole meal. You need to sit down with a knife and fork.
hang on. I gotta discuss some she sells. I have to Google something real quick.
There's a lot going on there. So did you know you were going to do a second round, Kym, of it, or were you just kind of waiting to see how it was going to go before you made the decision to do the second round? When did
I
that
wanted
come into
to
play?
I wanted to do a second round. I had kind of planned on this being an ongoing thing for as long as I could, continue to do it. But yeah, depending on how round one went, that would have been kind of a like, well, okay, maybe it's not a good thing,
I know I've been like promoting it. We have people on. I think one of the people that I think I got to sign up, because again, I was like, I really wanted to try, but I was like, I just don't think I could do the second round. But I think Zep Skies, Alex.
Oh yeah, Alex. Yep.
I'm so psyched to read. I know they've been putting out stuff, but I just haven't had time. But like their stuff is always so great, and to know that they're like into it, they're like doing the thing. I'm like, yes, got another one to do it.
I know, and yes, thank you so much for the promotion, because I'll see the little notifications, and it'll be like, oh yeah, we talked about Jacklesverse.
Yeah, because it was just
I do appreciate that.
Absolutely,
thank you.
because I think I wanted to have you guys, both on, because it's like and Stacey, I think you talked about this too. And I kind of feel that way too. Like I'll read some really great stuff, but like I'm guilty too of just like not engaging, as much as I probably should. And I think we all suffer from too, like, we're all really busy. There's a lot going on. Like Kasey and I are running this podcast for reasons that we still sometimes like, what? Because it's a lot too. Like it's a big investment.
Because we have opinions.
Everyone
should know them.
And I was
like, for example, no, wait. Like, for example, I've double checked the math. I am allowed to call Henry Cavill a snack because I wrestle with a 6'5" moose and he's only 6'1".
Okay.
So.
There you go. Okay.
There's a lot going on.
I told you I was Googling it.
Outwardly too as well. There's just so much outwardly, and like it's a lot. It's a big package to deal with, all encompassing. But you made me lose my train of thought, because now I'm thinking about Henry Cavill. No, just like with the community and engagement. And I mean, I think it's kind of great that you're just like, hey, I'll have to engage if I do the thing. And I think in some way the podcast helps us engage, maybe not as micro as probably like I was hoping, but more like, on a pullback kind of a scenario where we can engage with people, writers, fandom people, in a way that's different, but still fun. And it still makes you feel like you're in it, but just because I don't think I'm ever going to be that person that I'm not a huge Tumblr or blogger. I try to reblog some stuff too, but it's like finding how you fit in the community is important. And that can really be a broad spectrum of things. It's just figuring it out. So I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say that, because not everybody, is a reader. Not everybody reads. Not everybody, so you guys offer a way to interact with, like, there's a couple of authors that I didn't even know, but listening to your podcast, it was like, oh, I need to go check them out type thing, so so it's definitely a good thing.
Good. I'm glad that it's like giving you guys options too.
And everyone kind of, like say, like people that wouldn't necessarily maybe interact on Tumblr, like wouldn't reach out to each other or something for whatever reason, might find a new friend or find a new beta. And everyone, like I say, everyone's been really like accommodating and cheerleading each other on, which maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Kym, for the second round of Jacklesverse, what have you changed, or what have you been like, no, I should never do that again? That's not a good idea. Let's not do that this time.
Bye. No. I mean, no, not at all. Okay. Actually, I didn't really change much. Okay. Kind of minor things, like I adjusted some wording in the FAQs and the guidelines to make things clearer from, feedback I've gotten from different people. Just little things like that. I did a revamp of the blog, kind of streamlined the images and stuff a little bit. added a bunch more prompts.
Okay.
No, nobody, and this time I added a lot of scene starters. I kind of got hooked on scene starters for some reason.
Okay.
But so yeah, it's just again, so far that it's still open. Registration's still open till November 15th.
Okay.
I'm not sure when this is going to air.
Yeah,
but,
I think unfortunately I was gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna. It's not gonna be out probably till like the new year. So I did want to ask you too, like
fine.
both of you guys, if there's anything kind of related to the quest or the bingo that might be happening in the new year. Like if you want, like let us know and we'll make sure we like stick it in. Cause I mean, Kym, you opened it up again the first round. I don't know if you're thinking about.
I did.
Do you think you might open it up again at some point for a second?
It'll depend on interest. And that was kind of what prompted the that thing in the first round too, was there was I had people asking about it, and it's like, okay, there was enough people that asked that I'll go ahead and open it up for a brief period of time again. And so it'll kind of depend on the interest. But I have 33 participants again so far. So
good. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And you're going to be checking word counts and stuff. That's great. I'm still almost 600,000 words is amazing.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Did you have somebody that was also mean to you and said, look, I'm working on a current project that you're going to have to read a lot of it. Like, I apologize in advance for like a really long fic. Did you have a lot of longer fics? Because I was like, I said, this is so good. And I'm still I've got your one prompt on that bingo card is getting used to wrap up, wash, rinse, repeat, because that's
awesome.
It's so perfect. Kasey was like, if you don't use this prompt, I'm like, oh, I'm using the prompt because it falls into what we were talking about. So it's going to, so like I said, I'm going to give like a shout out to you whenever it's done. But
I was gonna ask that. I'm real sorry to put you on the spot here, Kym, but as we know, I bit off more than I could chew, and I was like, oh fuck. Do you mind if I use some of your fabulous prompts for like other stuff? Is that?
Oh my gosh,
okay?
no! Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I am still gonna finish Dreams. There's still a chapter 2 coming. At some point. I'm gonna finish it off. But yeah, no, there was so many great prompts in there that I really wanted to get to, and then my brain just wouldn't. So thank you.
No, go right ahead.
We'll shout you out, obviously.
Yeah. Do either of you, because you're running the challenges, like are you trying any challenges yourself outside of it, or is this kind of again like just taking up a big chunk of like what you're doing creatively, modding and all that stuff, and like working with everybody else on this stuff? Are you guys doing those? Are you doing them yourselves outside of it? Like, are you not doing you saw something else? Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea, I'm going to sign up for this. Or have you not?
I'm not signed up for anything because my muses have just gone on holiday, and then doesn't seem like they're ever coming back. I think they've moved locations. They've moved to Mars.
They will.
They'll come back. You just never know.
They will come back.
You never know when they're going to knock on the door and say hi.
Yeah,
I
haven't even signed up for second round of Jacklesverse because I didn't even finish my first one, and I was just like, I didn't want to put extra work on Kym and then me not be able to finish it. So, but yeah, but
maybe you'll find yourself having a conversation with someone and something will just come and tap on the back of your head, and you'll be like, no, I have to write this bollocks.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully, yeah,
maybe, yeah.
Maybe it'll be Jesse Pinkman. Maybe the person you're talking to will have buddies, and they will start putting restrictions on this idea that's jumping at the back of your head.
1,000 words.
Just imagine you drifting off. 1,000 words.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Kym,
I haven't. No, I haven't. And the reason I haven't is because I actually started back in school. So I decided I was going to go back and finally finish a degree. So
awesome.
What are you like? You don't have to share if you don't want to. What you studying?
No, that's okay. I'm going for paralegal.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Specifically in intellectual property because of AI.
Wow. Well, that has a lot to do
awesome.
too, just with like fandom, fan fiction, all
Yep,
that kind of
yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the kind of the thing. It was like, okay, because I did not want to go back for the degree I was originally going for, which was business management. I was
Mhm.
like, no. And then it was like, okay, I could do this. I'm interested in this. And then it
Mhm.
ties into all this other stuff I really
Yeah.
like doing,
There you go.
So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
great.
that's great. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's killing it, so don't listen to her if she says otherwise. She's killing it. She's
Oh,
doing it. She's
I
getting
didn't doubt
it
that for a
done.
second.
Yeah.
I didn't doubt that for
I
a
wasn't even going to
second.
ask that question.
Yeah.
Like,
You,
Kim's got this.
Stacey.
Kim's got this.
That's
What are you
awesome.
kidding? That's awesome. No, congratulations with that. And yeah, and again, like,
Best of luck.
yeah. And when it
Thank
comes to
you.
the muse
Thank
and
you.
everything, it's just like, it's this ebb and flow. And sometimes you're just like, oh my God, like you're just cranking it out. And then you're like, what happened? Where is
Mhm.
it? Why?
Yeah.
Why can't I just put words to, put words down?
No, exactly. Yeah, because I cranked up Run to You again for a little while.
Okay.
I know, because I really want to get that done.
Yeah.
I'm still so very excited about that
Mhm.
story. And
That
it's
is a really good story. I love Dean in that. He's so good in that. And
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just
But yeah, I talked to Stacey and it was just like I got stuck on details, and she's like,
I think that's the thing. Sometimes you got to just get past sometimes it's just, it doesn't have to be the details, but I think too, like, and maybe because we're so used to seeing media gloss over a lot of details that we're kind of like, no, I kind of want to get this right, or I want it to feel right, and not just be like, we're just going to pretend that this thing is actually like a thing that could happen when, no, it's kind of like, no, so it's hard. It's hard to not be, I think, so hard on yourself about wanting to get it just right. That sometimes you just have to not worry about it being perfect.
Stacey's got a really cool one coming out soon.
Do you?
Yes, it's a Jake
Tell.
Saracen one.
It's for Top Gun, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
It's probably going to be the last one for a long time.
I just watched the sequel, I think, not too long ago with my husband. I like the sequel better. I don't know, Stacey.
Me too.
Yeah. I just felt like it was, I don't know. I remember when the first one came out and it was like the biggest to do, and like the blockbuster Top Gun and all that stuff. But just, I really kind of thought that they did better and did right by characters more, I felt like, in the second one. So yeah, my husband was like, it was pretty good. I was like, yeah, I said, and I really liked, I think they wasted Jennifer Connelly. I really like her in general. I thought more with her, but I did like the continuation of the story, and how they kind of worked it together. So good. I'm glad that there's something coming out. Even if you say it's not going to be, that's it for a while. At least it's coming out, and I'm sure it's going to be great. I still think about Samnesia. I loved that story so much because I felt it was just such like a great like romance novel. I really loved all the aspects of it, the thriller part, the suspense, the mystery, but then the romance between the two characters was just so very nice and lovely. And the way you tied it up in a little bow at the end just makes you go, "Aw, that's so cute and sweet." And it's just, there's going to be a happy ending for them. And it's just, it was
as happy as it gets for Supernatural.
Yeah, as happy.
I'm not saying that lasted long.
Yeah. Oh no, but at least for then, it was a happy ending for then. But yeah,
Happy for now.
Happy for now. But I really do like how you, and I know that was a labor of love for you as well. And it's such a good story. We'll put links to Run to You and Samnesia, because those are two of my favorites in the description for people to find, again, if they so choose to read all of the stuff, because you are creators and mods. So hype that up. I think before we let you go, again, like if there's anything that comes up with schedule wise that you think, oh, this is a thing that's happening I think this is going to come out like January 7th. So if anything's happening around that time.
I think you're our first.
You're going to be our first for the new year.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And because we kind of wanted to be like, new year, new you, not really new you, but what are your goals? What are your thoughts? What are your plans for the new year kind of thing? So I think to wrap up like the discussion with the quests and the bingos and stuff, what are your hopes for fellow writers and creators participating in your challenges? Kym, I'll let you go first.
Well, very similar to the first. I hope they are inspired. I hope that they write what they want to write and don't feel like any pressure, because there is none. If they don't get a square done, they don't get a square done. That's just the way it happens sometimes. But yes, I hope they're inspired. I hope they have fun with the bingo and just, do what you do.
Love that.
Stacey, what are your hopes for your writers in the
echoing what Kym said, to inspire to create anything kind of thing, even if it's something small like 1,000 words or a paragraph in an existing whip, or just anything that kind of something that makes someone have a little bit of fun and not, like you say, no pressure. It's writing is, let's face it, 99% of our hobbies, so it should be something we enjoy to do and not feel pressured to do.
Exactly.
So are you thinking too for like the new year, like is it just in terms of, I know you said like for Stacey, like the muse has gone on vacation. Are you just kind of got to give yourself like, just time, like, just to kind of like see if it's willing to come back and or do you have anything else you're thinking about, like maybe starting up again, or are you just going to kind of wait and see what happens if it strikes your fancy?
Wait and see. I'll just kind of keep being about it for everybody, and I'm looking to get into. I can't wait for Kym to finish Run to You, because I get the sneak peeks all the time. So I get to be behind the scenes. So just and that 9 times out of 10 reading something that Kym's done inspires me to do something else. So just kind of being in the background for a bit.
Yeah. Well,
taking a breather.
You have to take a break sometimes, because I think you just unfortunately burnout is a thing. Even if it's something fun, you can just get burnt out on that stuff.
And setting up these things as well. They must be huge to like set up, and that's before you've even started like the moderating and all that. Just getting it set, just give yourself a minute. Just sit down and be like, I'm gonna chill.
Reap the benefits. Like reap the benefits of the stories that you get. I think that's one of the great things about being able to set these up too. It's like, you're going to get an influx of things that you love to consume. And I think that's so great. It's kind of this loop, this feeding loop, right? Like, it's like, oh, I love this thing. And then that gets somebody inspired to write another thing. And it just keeps going. And I think that's awesome. And I'm really glad that, again, I was able to participate in Jacklesverse for the first round and get the opportunity to like meet Kym, then meet Stacey, then get to have you guys back on to just talk about what you're doing for fellow writers. Cause I think they need some cheering. And I don't know too, like if you feel this, but do you feel like it's waning a little bit more in terms of just even, and probably not other fandoms. And I think I've asked this question before, but just like in general, like, do you think it's more about you really have to force yourself to kind of like engage, or do you feel that that's not an issue as much when it comes to the challenges themselves? But like, is this kind of, Stacey, you were talking about it a little bit, but it doesn't feel like work. I guess it's kind of like my question too. It doesn't feel like it's work when you're doing this, even though it's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Well, for me, it's because it's stuff that, I kind of normally do anyway. The spreadsheets, the stats, the organizing, that kind of stuff. That's enjoyable for me. So,
right.
And it's about a subject matter that I also enjoy. So it's, it's good for me. As far as even being somebody that's like pretty much a single fandom person, I think in general that the interaction and the creativity is waning a lot. And it's sad to see, and I think it's a combination of things. I think it's the shift in attitudes in fandom. I think it's the AI stuff, just, that invasiveness of it. And so, I think, and so that was another reason for the bingo was it's like, okay, if I can give even a little bit, of that inspiration to somebody, and cheer them on, then that's where we go.
Yeah. Stacey, in terms of the other fandoms, are you noticing something similar or no? Like, are some really kind of taking off and they feel like they're getting like, popular, or they have their, I guess, their moment, where a lot of people are writing for certain fandoms?
Yeah, there's ebbs and flows to each one kind of thing. Obviously, as a lot more news gets released about a certain thing, there seems to get more fans. Like they've recently announced that there's going to be a Top Gun Maverick 3.
Okay.
So I think that kind of inspired everybody to be like, oh, let's go and watch the second one. So there was a bit of an influx in the fandoms, and you notice a bit of, people are reading the fanfics again and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously Marvel, all the new Marvel shows are coming out. There's new movies next year. So I think Marvel will probably end up getting a bit more traction and stuff again. But obviously it'll be new characters and different characters and stuff. So it's all ebbs and flows to different ones. Say Henry Cavill's been in the news a lot lately because there's some random people that have dug way too deep into his life, and it's kind of a little bit scary. And I think the Steiner side of the fandom have kind of gone like, well, let's just enjoy the things he does rather than rip apart his personal life kind of thing. So it kind of depends on what's going on in the world at the time, isn't it, sort of thing. So but fandom, I think for a lot of people, is escapism. It just kind of depends what's going on.
I don't want to keep you ladies too long. It's been lovely. And who knows, you're probably going to go back into your Discord and chat a bit more about other
We probably are.
Yeah.
See, now you've broke the seal. You'll be on voice chat constantly.
Well, yeah. Do you think you might? Do you think you might do that a little bit more now? Or do you think you'll still go back to texting?
We might.
Yeah. I'll tell you, once you do it once or twice, you do get a little, it's easier. The more you do something, the easier it is. It's just easier to do.
Well, yeah.
But how you were saying too, but like archiving and stuff and having stuff written down, that's also really important, because we will like record things that we say we're going to go back to it and we don't. So I think it's also really important to have like written words down somewhere, so you can, especially with the creation part of things.
Well, no, I will say, because me and Dreamer have been burned by this before, being like 4 or 5 hours into a voice chat, chatting like, 6 layers deep into a fic, and then the next day you're like, had this thought, where was it?
Yeah.
Oh, we were on a call.
Yeah.
There are apps and bots and stuff you can put in Discord servers that will record the audio and like transcribe it and shit for you. So, because I want to go find that.
Right.
So if you need that,
I still think you kind of have to give yourself like, we're just going to shoot the shit, and then like, but now it's work time. So I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in the gym.
I'm bad at that. I'm like, no, talk forever. No work. Not forever.
Kym, I know you were doing that like reading part of it too. Like, like the reader bingo. How did that part go? The readers like reblogging and like checking off stuff. Did that go?
That one didn't go as well, and I actually didn't expect as much interaction from that one. But I do like having that option. Stacey and I have talked about that type of stuff before. Is involving the readers as much as we can. In that as well. So I will offer it. I am going to offer it again. During this round. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see how it goes.
I am so excited for the both of you in this, like, these challenges and quests. And I think they're going to just have so many wonderful things come out of it. So many words. I can't wait to see about how many words. Stacey, we are going to have you back at some point. Just like, how did it all go? And and we're going to do stats as well. Kim's going to, I don't know who does more of the spreadsheet stuff here.
Add it to your spreadsheet.
Is it Kym or
Stacey?
I think we're kind of equal on that.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I love a good spreadsheet. But yes, Kym, if you could tell me how many words I wrote.
I can do that.
I already know. I know. I contributed 4,720 words to the Jacklesverse Bingo. I added it up.
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome sauce. Awesome. But ladies, it's been lovely to chat with you guys again. And I'm really just excited that you talked to each other for the first time on our podcast. I think it's
awesome too. Thank you for giving us that opportunity.
Absolutely. But yes, please take care. Have a wonderful holiday season and a good new year. I will be in touch with you guys sooner than later about the episode and stuff. But yeah, feel free to exit and head on over to your Discord, and we're gonna do our outro. But it's been
Have a lovely rest of the day.
It's been lovely. Have a great day.
Thanks
You
for
too.
having
Thank
us.
you so much.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
That's your
Bye.
number in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay, thank you. Bye bye.
Oh, I did
was the
43,161
Holy
words.
heck.
That's just because of whatever rinse was. I think rinse had the prompt in it, so that was a big portion of it. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Aw. How
That's
cool.
the bestest.
This was so much fun. I
love
love
that.
getting a chance to catch up with them again and talking about, their process and what they're doing, their process, and what they're working on for.
You said it that time. I didn't say it.
I know. But what they're working
Oh,
on for the writers
Yeah.
and stuff. I think that's so good. I'm just so happy to hear that.
And I really love the idea, what they're both doing about creating the spaces that make them happy, spaces that they want to exist in. Because me, and I'm a big fan of if it doesn't exist, create it.
Yeah.
So if you can't find what you're looking for, make it for yourself, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. And I hope too that if, listeners are thinking about it, because at this point we'll have already put out our Wincest Big Bang breakdowns. And so this will actually be maybe a more positive upswing on everyone's what their takes are.
Your bang was lovely and positive. Yours was great. Your breakdown was great.
I think in terms of, again, we get back into it about how much we put on ourselves in situations. And I think these are opportunities to just they exist. They're there. If you get inspired, do the thing. And it doesn't have to, there are guidelines, but there aren't necessarily hard and fast deadlines, that you have to adhere to. It's pretty much what you make of the challenge, I think, really. But yeah, I think this is a way of us to, I know for me, I was let's put some positives into all of these challenges that we're doing for ourselves. But I know you had fun with the Jacklesverse Bingo. It was definitely a challenge for you. Kind of getting outside of your, what your comfort zone has been. And you did all of the things it wasn't Sam, it was Dean focused. And, but you did a lot of other, you did Soldier Boy. You got to throw a little bit of Jensen into one of them as well. And I think that was a good, I'm guessing it was a good experience for you too, just to get
I had such a lovely time. Yeah. And like I said, if I thought I could do both, and then it turned out that I could do neither of the things.
Yeah.
So that's on me. And I didn't sign back up for Jacklesverse because the bingo was still ongoing.
Yeah,
the bang was still ongoing.
I didn't either. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm sad that I didn't get more out of my bingo card. And I'm really glad that Kym is so gracious to be use the prompts. Because obviously I'm gonna shout her out and stuff. But no, I loved that constraint of not being able to fall back on what I always do. Because I find Wincest very easy to write. So having to work around that.
Yeah.
And find the story in other pairings was super duper fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not done with that bingo card. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm not either. And like I said, my hope is...
no, wait, this is going on in 2025. Yeah, maybe this year.
Maybe. I think for me to not signing up for the second round of Jacklesverse, but then I'd signed up for Alphabet Quest. And like I said, I like that it runs through May because I really don't think I could do at least I know right now, the month to month thing, having all the prompts and knowing I can mix them up, pick and mix, like you guys were talking about, getting to kind of put those together. However it inspires me, I think will be really fun. And yeah, I would like to the bingo did a lot of that for me where I just try to do shorter stuff. And I would love to be able to do that with Alphabet Quest, the most bang for the buck, I guess, kind of thing. How much can I pack into a small little drabble or something like that? So I've got a couple of ideas. I'm really bad. I don't put them in there. I don't put them down. I'm going to start writing them down more and do the things.
Do you want an invite to Horny on Main?
I don't know if
I'm calling it that.
I think you guys, I mean, the Discord server sounds like such a good idea for you guys. I think
it's so clever. Yeah.
I think that's an awesome thing.
Yeah. I got to drop it on Dreamer. She's asleep at the moment.
Oh.
But I don't know whether to discuss it with her first or just send her a Discord invite to Horny on Main. So she can be like, what the fuck have you done?
And we can tell that Kym and Stacey are in fact in Discord because they are typing. So I am typing them back as we speak.
Yeah, it's going babong. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kym and Stacey. But we're gonna wrap up this episode. But we want to know, like, if you're listening, have you participated in any recent bingos? Have you participated in Jacklesverse? Have you signed up for Alphabet Quest? Do you think you should have signed up for Alphabet Quest? Because it sounds amazing and the prompts are just across the board, all over the place. You could pick and choose whatever. There's so many.
It's so open.
There's so many.
It's so open.
But yeah, let us know experiences, challenges. How do you cheer people on? Just fandom stuff. Just give us a shout out. Let us know what's going on. But for now, we're going to wrap up this episode, and we are going to say thank you for listening and let us know what you thought. You can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify in the Q&A section. You can leave a YouTube comment. Join our Discord and chat with fellow idlers and us in real time. Check out our merch store, which is another fun way to show your support. You can find details for everything on our website. That's idlingintheimpala.com. Want to fuel our supernatural road trip? Consider joining us on Ko-fi for as little as $1 a month. We have perks to go along with different membership tiers, and would love to have you along for the ride.
Don't forget, you can always support us for free by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube and following, rating, sharing on audio platforms. Engagement like that really helps us with the algorithm. All hail their benevolence. As always, we have the causes that we support in the description. So from me, you have LGBTQ plus talking charities. From Sandra, you have mental health charities. And the main causes that we are always championing, highlighting, spotlighting are World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. If you want some more information on those charities, why we are supporting them, what they mean to us, head on over to idlingintheimpala.com. There is a page there called Causes Cause that has all the information. And with that, we will say thank you to Kym and Stacey for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the back seat. And we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.